As you know, I had the opportunity to meet with Mayor Brown. This is my third meeting with a newly elected mayor. I've done the same with Christchurch, Wellington, and now here in Auckland. In each case, they've been relatively general, an opportunity to sit down and talk about where there may be shared priorities. And in each case, there has been. I'd say the same for the meeting with Mayor Brown. I was interested in what his priorities were, what he would like to achieve across the course of his term, and also, of course, interested in the position and view of council on those issues as well. What I've undertaken with the mayor, or suggested to the mayor, is it would be useful for us to have our key ministers across the areas, like for instance transport, housing, infrastructure, to come down and sit down with the mayor's team once council is formally in place and council members are fully in place and he's able to have convened the council as a whole. As I say, there are areas of shared interest. My focus is on those. I'm ultimately an MP based here in Auckland. We all want to see the city thrive and prosper, and so that will be the focus that we have as a government in working with council. My view is very simple. I'm unwilling to stand by and see Aucklanders face increasing bills, and that is what is projected to happen if we don't do something about water infrastructure in New Zealand. So I expressed to the Mayor that, in my view, neither of us want to see that scenario. So let's keep working together. Otherwise, I also just shared that the timetable for the legislation, it continues, and I'll be making sure that his team are aware of those timetables.
Another major project is Auckland Light Rail. He's absolutely against it. Given, the council needs to be involved in that, is that pretty much over?
Look, again, here I think it's really important to bring in the view of council. Of course, there's a number of elected members that will have their view too. That's one of the reasons. I'm very keen that, yes, we sit down and meet and talk together as central and government and council, but let's give the council a chance to meet formally as well. Look, firstly, overnight I've received advice from the Cabinet Office, informed by the Electoral Commission, on potential timings for the by-election in Hamilton West. That advice gave me a limited number of possible options, given of course the time of year that we're in, public holidays and so on, and of course needing to take into account the final tally of votes being delivered before we move into significant end of the year events. On that basis, the by-election will be held on the 10th of December. That means that there's a brief period for nominations and for the process that needs to occur up front before that day. Of course, parties now, I imagine, will go into the usual process of working through who their candidates will be, and Labour will of course be included and do the same for us. The one thing I will just say again, I am still disappointed on behalf of taxpayers that we're having this by-election in the first place. It's been triggered by the fact that the independent member for Hamilton West has decided to resign in order to run as an independent member for Hamilton West. That seems to me to be a complete waste of taxpayer money.
My erstwhile colleague Rachel Smalley has been speculating you might step down on top before the next election. Do you have a comment?
I saw that and I reject it. That's probably all I've got. Actually, to be fair, I saw the headline. I didn't get behind the paywall.